opportunity does not build a door. So before I go into details, I want to introduce myself. I'm Rana Ashour. I graduated in 2008 with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. And I'm now working as a structural engineer in a company called Happel, a consultant British company. So now back to the quote. You're probably thinking, what door? So I think it's actually a very suitable quote for a time like this because of the crisis. And a lot of my colleagues and a lot of people will find that there's a lack of opportunities out there or a lack of jobs. And actually, I believe that this is not the end of the world, and it's not, and you shouldn't just sit at home and get depressed about this. You got to be creative because limitations only live in our minds. So basically, there's no recipe or ingredient to what you can do. But be creative. For example, if you don't find a job, maybe do masters, maybe do a 3-4-month certificate, maybe open something small with a friend, build on a skill that you think is lacking, maybe a language skill, maybe go for volunteer work, charity work, and that will open steps and doors for you to actually get to know other people. And an example I'd like to give is one of my friends, Hala. She's actually a multimedia designer. And she graduated in the peak of the crisis, which was the year 2009. And she didn't find a job, along with a couple of her friends. She didn't just stay home and say, you know what, I don't have a job, and tell us people that this is the end of it. She actually went up to her friends, a group of her friends, they're all multimedia designers. She went up to them and told them, what about if we open a small, mini company? And they did. And they're all basically freelancing. I know it's quite harder for engineers to freelance, but I'm just giving an example. And mashallah, they're doing really well. They're growing, and money isn't the main issue for them. They don't get so much money, but money does come later. Anyhow, so 3 years ago, I was actually sitting there. I'm not here sharing my experience. AUS was a lovely place and a lovely experience in every way. I did enjoy it so much. I'll go back to my freshman year. I actually applied as a chemical engineer and not a civil engineer. After I took Physics 101 and Chemistry 101, I actually thought about it and I was like, I like the whole F sine alpha, resolving forces kind of thing. I'm not really into chemistry. With no offense to any chemical engineers or anything, but that's just me, my personal opinion. So if there's any freshman out there or anyone who still believes that they can actually, they actually like to do a different type of engineering, then go for it and change. Do not surrender to mama, baba, which I don't know what they think. Civil engineering is not, it's for men, don't go for it. No, don't do that. So I remember I actually called up my dad. I changed to civil and I called up my dad. I was like, hello Baba, Dayak, how are you? I changed my major from chemical to civil. And then there was silence on the phone. And he started laughing. And my dad is a civil engineer, so you can imagine how happy he was. And he actually had no effect or no influence on me to kind of change my career. It was all, back to the whole Physics 101, Chemistry 101, and I knew that I wanted to do civil engineering. If I was to give some tips or advice, and I'm not being a professor wannabe here or anything, but do not skip your classes. Go. Understand. Bug your professors. Make sure you understand. Ask them questions until you understand, and then do your assignments. And I can assure you that the information will be reinforced in your mind. And then before the exams, when you study, it's just somehow like revision. So that's alhamdulillah, this is one of the main things that I followed and made me, until I graduate, with honors. One other thing, or one other tip that I'd like to give is participate in non-engineering events. volunteer work, charity events, etc., Global Day. That's something I honestly regret and didn't get the chance to do, but it kind of widens your horizons and the circle of people you know, which is very important, and you kind of realize how important that is once you graduate. Moving on from freshman year, I'd like to talk about my design project, which is one of the main things we all think about as engineers ever since we start. I did my design project with Dr. Sami Tabsh and Dr. Ahmed here. And I did it with 3 of my colleagues and my really dear friends, and one of them is sitting here, Tina Mudalisi, Mahmoud Mansour, and Muhammad Anem. I can sit here and tell you, you have to work hard, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, but to me, the most and the nicest part of my design project was the pressure and the stress that we shared that I shared with my friends in the group and with other groups. It kind of made us come together. We had these like crazy moments, we kind of had to let steam out because of all the pressure. So I remember we'd go buy McDonald's from because Burger King wasn't enough for us. We'd go buy McDonald's, like 15 students come back, and then make a mountain of French fries. How random. And then I remember, for example, going to Pop Burger, getting sandwiches, and then placing mats and having dinner in the engineering parking. We sang random songs in the lab while working, and actually these are the memories that I do remember now. And I don't remember the whole pressure and stress that I've been under. Also something else I like to mention about my design project is we kind of did it in bridge design. And bridge design was the course that we didn't take in university or didn't get a chance to take. And that was it was a challenge to us, but it was actually quite interesting. And that is actually what alhamdulillah gave me the opportunity to become an employee in Europe. For all of you graduating soon, I'd like to congratulate you and tell you that graduation is one of the best experiences you will experience, or at least to me it was. The sense of accomplishment you feel and how proud your family and friends are of you is lovely. And I still remember the day that they, called my name out, Rana, Ashour, and I just, I felt I was flying more than anything. It was a lovely experience and a lovely moment. Now moving on, alhamdulillah, I kind of graduated in the time where it wasn't crisis yet. I got my job by a friend of a friend, and I got a phone interview, and they already called some of my professors and the dean, etc., and they actually had a background about me, so they told me, please, we want you to come tomorrow, and I was like, but I'm still in university. And I'm like, I kind of need to graduate first, and then I want to take a break, and then I can start, and they agreed. And this is how it started with Vera Happel, because they needed bridge engineers, structural engineers with a bridge background. I still remember my birthday. It was the 31st of August, 2008. It was so exciting and thrilling, the whole experience of, they're all adults, and, it's something so new, and I have my own desk, and my name tag, and my phone, and my email address. It's like thrilling and a bit scary in the beginning, and you don't know what to expect. Anyhow, moving on, I'd like to share some important experiences I had in work. For example, I was hired as a graduate structural engineer. And as a graduate in Vera Happel, you get sent to the UK, to the main office, which is the FAST, to actually do some training. And when I did that, I got to meet graduates from all over the world, and it was such a nice experience. It really broadened my horizons and the way I think about stuff. We participated together in projects, social activities, and it was a very lovely experience. Moving on, another important experience I'd like to mention at work is that I was working on this project called the Ras Al Gateway. I don't know if anyone knows about it, but it's a huge project. And it was very interesting. I remember my senior engineer came up to me and showed me the complicated vortex structure that kind of looks like a datura flower. And he gave me the architectural form and the 3D model. And back then it was on a software called Rana, and I had no idea what Rana is. Basically, as engineers, it's more of an architect thing. I didn't really work on Rana before. So he gave me the architect form and told me, you know what,